Hi everyone, yasas que Carlos Feta to another episode of Dimitra's Dishes. Today we're going to be making Elioti. It's a Cypriot olive bread. It's not really a bread because there's no yeast in it. You don't have to knead it. You just put everything together and you bake it. It's more like a cake, like a savory cake filled with olives and herbs. It's usually made without eggs or dairy, but I'm adding a little bit of eggs in here and some feta cheese because it just makes it taste so much better. Let's get started. So we're going to start off with an onion, and I'm just going to peel it and finely chop it and get it cooking so it's nice and soft and it's a little bit slightly sweet. You never want to put raw onion in these things because it has a little bit of a harsh flavor if it's not cooked. Whereas once you cook it a little bit, once you saute it in some olive oil, it just gets so nice and soft and slightly sweet. So I have a pan that's heating over medium heat. I'm going to add the onion to the pan with a couple of tablespoons of olive oil, maybe 3-4 tablespoons to help it cook, and a little pinch of salt. So while the onions are cooking, we're just going to go ahead and prepare the remaining ingredients. You need 4 scallions, but I had to pick the leaves off of a few of these, so I have 5. And I'm just going to thinly slice these. I've already washed them and tried to dry them as best as I could. So I'm just going to set this aside. Then I have some fresh parsley that I've rinsed. You can use parsley, mint, dill, or a combination of your favorite herbs. Go ahead and finely chop those as well. Over here I have 6 ounces or 170 grams of pitted Kalamata olives. Use your favorite olives or a combination of them. And I have 5 ounces or 150 grams of feta. I'm going to set that aside while I roughly chop the olives. And I'm just going to crumble the feta so it's ready. I've said this over and over again. Always buy feta in block form. Don't buy the feta crumbles. They don't taste good. They're very salty and briny, and they're just not good quality. It takes 2 seconds to crumble feta yourself. And as for the dry ingredients, I have 3 1/4 cups or 400 grams of all-purpose flour, 2 teaspoons of baking powder, and 1 teaspoon of salt. I'm just going to whisk them all together so that way they're ready. And as soon as the onions get a little bit of color on them and they're soft, they're ready, it's time to add the scallions to the pan. We're just going to warm them through for about a minute. So just after about a minute or so, take everything off of the heat, and now it's time to combine the wet ingredients together. So I have 1/2 cup of olive oil in here, 1/2 cup of orange juice, 1 cup of water, and 3 eggs. Just whisk that all together, and then go ahead and add the dry ingredients. You could add them in all together. And then go ahead and switch to a spatula and just mix that all up. Add the parsley along with the feta cheese and the olives, and of course the onions and scallions. And that's it. Once everything is combined, it's just time to transfer it to the pan. I have a 9-inch round springform pan. A springform pan basically is also known as a cheesecake pan. It basically just separates, so it makes for a very easy presentation once the cake is done to get it out of there. Just drizzle a little bit of olive oil in there, or you can spray it with some baking spray and just brush it all around. That way the cake comes out easily once it's baked. And I have had springform pans open on me in the oven or leak, so I like to put them on top of a baking pan. Transfer all of this delicious batter into the pan. And then I like to top it with some sesame seeds. I like the way black sesame seeds look. You can add white sesame seeds or a combination of sesame seeds or leave them out. The oven is preheated to 350 degrees Fahrenheit. This is going to bake on the center rack for 50 to 55 minutes or until a toothpick that's inserted into the center comes out clean. I'll show you what it looks like as soon as it's done. So my Elioti was ready in 55 minutes. Every oven bakes differently, so do keep an eye on it. You want to make sure that it cools completely before you serve it. This cake is so delicious. Time for the taste test. Just melt in your mouth, all those flavors. I love the mildness of the scallions, the sweetness of the onions, the sharpness of the Kalamata olives, and the creamy feta cheese. This is so good. I would serve it alongside some more olives, maybe some olive oil. So delicious. You could even have this with a cup of coffee if you like savory with your coffee. I hope you guys give this recipe a try. The exact measurements are on the website, dimitrasdishes.com. Thank you guys so much for spending time with me today. I'll see you all next time. Yes, Sess.